I found the 19 best fully remote jobs that are hiring right now, and many of these are going to be available worldwide. And my team and I took dozens of hours painstakingly looking through countless job boards to find these types of jobs that are often hiring fully remote, and also many of them are available worldwide. So if you appreciate all the hard work and me doing this type of video, go ahead and let me know by gently tapping that like button, and let's jump into the video right now. The first one on the list is going to be a security control assessor. And this is kind of like being a lifeguard at a digital beach. And this is basically a position where you proactively evaluate the policies, procedures, and technical systems in place to ensure they effectively guard against potential threats. And this is kind of like a combination of operations management, cybersecurity analyst, and then sprinkle on top of that a little bit of legal and regulatory compliance. And this is important because according to studies, hackers attack about once every 39 seconds. And it affects 1 in 3 Americans every year. And security control assessors make about $75,000 a year. Now, this is one of those roles that you can get into without a college degree. Some companies do prefer people who have degrees, but you don't need one to get this job. Instead, you can self-study and get certifications such as the Security Plus from CompTIA. Now, here are some job openings available. I'll put them up on the screen so you can check them out if you'd like to. And yeah, I really like this one. I'll give it a 9 out of 10 opportunity score. Next is going to be similar, and that's going to be a cyber threat intel analyst.
I've got to get online!
And again, these are the types of jobs that are often available fully remote, and you can get them worldwide. And rather than waiting for a threat to happen, CTI analysts basically strategize to make sure that when those threats happen, nothing goes wrong. And there's lots of jobs out there for businesses in the technology industry, defense contractors, and basically any business that uses the internet, which is basically all of them.
Everybody stay calm! We're all gonna die!
So this role is all about being proactive, and you really have to know your stuff in order to do that, and that's why they make about $170,000 a year.
That's a lot of money.
So this would not be an entry-level job. This would be one that you get down the line, maybe 2 or 3 jobs in. So the way to get into this one would be to, first of all, have some experience working in cybersecurity, and then get the proper certifications. And some good places you would start is, of course, taking CompTIA certificates. Coursera also has a cyber threat intelligence course, which is highly rated, and there are many other courses online that you could take. So yeah, I really like this one. Lots of opportunity when it comes to cybersecurity roles. I'll give this one a 9.5 out of 10 opportunity score. Next is going to be a sales engineer. Now, typically in this role, you'd be doing what's known as B2B sales, and that's where you sell products and services to other businesses. And in many cases, you're going to be selling contracts that are hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of dollars.
No pressure then.
So what you're going to be doing is explaining these complex products, which in many cases are going to be technology related, to potential clients.
It's truly amazing. A portable television studio.
So an example of this would be a cybersecurity firm doing a major contract with a giant tech company such as Amazon or Facebook. So you not only have to have sales skills, but you also have to understand the technical aspects of the product. So that, as you can imagine, is a pretty rare skill set. But with that being said, this type of sales is a lot less salesy, for lack of a better word, than most types of sales out there, because it's more about just making sure that your product fits the customer's needs. And you're going to be spending most of your time understanding the customer's problems and then showing them how your product can solve them. So sales engineers make about $125,000 a year. And this can also lead to some much higher paying jobs as well. So for instance, I interviewed Antoine on this channel, who makes over $500,000 a year in tech sales. And by the way, if you're interested in tech sales, the entry-level job is going to be what's known as a business development representative, or BDR. That's how you get your foot in the door in tech sales. And even at the lower level, they make on average about $70,000 a year. And my friend Troy actually specializes in getting people BDR jobs, and I've done a bunch of interviews on this channel with people that he's actually helped. And he does have a free training, which you can check out, and I'll put that down in the description as well as the pinned comment below. And by the way, here's some job openings if you're interested in this position. And overall, I'll give this one an opportunity score of 10 out of 10. Next on the list, we're going to be talking about penetration testers. And this is a very interesting position because you basically pretend like you're the hacker and you try to hack companies, but you do it in an ethical way. So when people ask you what you do at a party, you can literally tell them that you hack into computer systems for a living.
Ooh.
But don't worry, it's legal, at least mostly. But all joking aside, there is a ton of opportunity for people who are really good at this. And that's why penetration testers make about $114,000 a year.
I'm gonna be rich.
Now, you definitely do not need a college degree to get started with this. I mean, think about it. Most hackers out there probably don't have college degrees, but you definitely do need to know your stuff. And you kind of need to come at it from the mindset of a hacker. So some things you could look into for this one would be the IBM Cybersecurity Analyst Professional Certificate. You could also look into becoming a certified ethical hacker. You can also look into the CompTIA Pen Test Plus exam. You can get a certified penetration tester credential or a GIAC penetration tester certificate. Here's some job openings up on the screen in case you want to check them out. And overall, I'll give this one an opportunity score of 9 out of 10. Next on the list, we're going to talk about desktop support technicians. So this is another entry-level job, so you don't need a college degree or previous experience to get into this role. And basically, you're going to be helping people to fix their desktop or laptop issues within a company. So it's very similar to IT help desk, it's just a little more specific. So you're dedicated to fixing only desktop or laptop related issues, whereas IT help desk can be more broad when it comes to the technical stuff that you fix. And in this role, you'd make about $54,000 a year, and that's great considering it's an entry-level job that doesn't require a college degree or previous experience. Now, a great way to get started with this one would also be Course Careers, which is the company I mentioned earlier, and they help you get into IT help desk roles, but this one is extremely similar, so the same sort of thing would apply. And again, you can check that out. I'll put it down in the description as well as the pinned comment below. But yeah, this one is phenomenal. I think it's great, especially if you're just trying to get started with your career. When it comes to the tech industry, you kind of just want to get your foot in the door. And once you've got your foot in the door, it's going to be much easier for you to network or get other jobs. So I'll give this one a 9.5 out of 10 opportunity score. Next is going to be a system administrator. And this is a very similar role, but you're going to be focusing more on the technology infrastructure of a company. Now, this typically is not an entry-level job. This might be like the second job that you go to, for instance. And you might start off as a desktop support technician or IT help desk, something along those lines. Do that for a year or two and then move into this role. And they pay about $85,000 a year. So here are some job openings. I'll put them up on the screen in case you want to check them out. But yeah, this is another great one. I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10 opportunity score. And since I mentioned it before, might as well bring it up in the video, IT help desk. You're going to be answering the phone and helping either customers or your fellow employees with technical related issues. So you're probably going to say, have you tried turning that on and off again several times a day?
Hello, IT. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
And then you're also going to spend a significant amount of time resetting people's passwords when they forget them. And they make about $53,000 a year. So there's some job openings right here. I'll put them up on the screen so you can check them out if you want to. And this one, I'm going to give a 9.5 out of 10 opportunity score. It's also entry level, very easy to get into, does not require a college degree, etc. Next, let's talk about security analysts. And in this role, you're basically going to be like a digital detective, sniffing out vulnerabilities and making sure that cyber fortresses remain impenetrable. And you're going to have a little bit more of a focus on data and protecting it. And security analysts make about $99,000 a year. Now, there's many different ways of getting into this. It's usually not going to be an entry-level role. So a lot of the time you'll start off in IT, some sort of IT related job. Then you'll do some certifications and move into security. So you might take the CompTIA SEC Plus certification, for instance, and then probably a lot of self-study as well. Now, I'll put up some job openings in case you're interested in this one on the screen. And overall, I'm going to give this one an opportunity score of 9.5 out of 10. And I know I'm getting a lot of really high scores here, but that's because these are honestly some of the best jobs out there. Next on the list is going to be a manual tester. And this is basically where you use technology, for instance, a piece of software that your company is creating, and you test it in every which way imaginable to see if there's any bugs or problems. And this is kind of like being a book editor for a writer. So you definitely do need to know a little bit about software development here. You need to have a little bit of programming knowledge. But the biggest thing is you need to have great attention to detail. And manual testers make about $78,000 a year. Here are some job openings. I'll put them up on the screen. And overall, this one I'm going to give a 9 out of 10 opportunity score. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, I'm planning on making a bunch more valuable content in the future. So go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on that. Next one on the list, I'm not going to spend too much time on because everybody and their grandma knows about this one, and that is software developer. Obviously, one of the best careers you can go into. Lots of opportunity here. Used to be much easier to get into. Now it's getting a little tougher, but still a really good one. I'll still give it a 9.5 out of 10 opportunity score.
Yeah, still good.
And I'm kind of going to go through the rest of these pretty quickly because I realize this video is going on a little too long. But information security analyst, very similar to security analyst, but with more of an emphasis on data. This is another really good one to get into. So I will put some job opportunities up on the screen right now. You can check them out if you'd like. This one gets a 9 out of 10 opportunity score. Web developer is another really good one. It's kind of the most basic version of software development. Again, a lot harder to get into than it was in the past. So lots of opportunities here. I'll put some of the jobs up on the screen so you can check them out. And I'll give this one a 9 out of 10 opportunity score. Next one on the list is a computer system analyst. Another really good one that's focused on the IT infrastructure of a company. So I will put some job opportunities up on the screen right now. You can check them out if you'd like. This one gets an 8.5 out of 10 opportunity score. Next is going to be data scientist. This is definitely not an entry-level job. And this is one of the rare ones where I would recommend for most people to have a degree.
Oh, man!
But it still pays really well. So lots of opportunities here. I'll put some of the jobs up on the screen so you can check them out. And anything data related is going to be super valuable. Because of the fact that it's harder to get into this one, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10 opportunity score. But if you have the right qualifications, this one is amazing. Next is going to be a database administrator. Another data related career, really good. So I'll go ahead and put up some opportunities on the screen. You can check them out if you'd like. This one gets a 9 out of 10 opportunity score. Next is going to be a computer network architect. This is focused on the architecture of the IT infrastructure. And usually they're going to have a focus on the data side of things as well. So lots of opportunities here. I'll put some of the jobs up on the screen so you can check them out. This is another really good one. I'll give it a 9 out of 10 opportunity score. Also, this one tends to be relatively chill. I've known some computer network architects and database architects, and they usually do not work that much. So yeah, really good one to get into. Next is going to be a mobile applications developer. This is also one of the easier types of software development to get into. And I think it's a bit easier to get a job than a web developer. So I'll go ahead and put up some opportunities on the screen. You can check them out if you'd like. This is another really good one. I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10 opportunity score. Next is going to be an artificial intelligence engineer. This is one where you typically are going to need a college degree to get into it. It's also really big brain. This is not like something that you can easily learn on your own. But if you have the skills, there's going to be a massive amount of opportunity, especially in the next 10 years. And this is just my opinion, but I think this is going to be huge.
Okay, I'm convinced.
So lots of opportunities here. I'll put some of the jobs up on the screen so you can check them out. And yeah, I'll give this one a 9 out of 10 just because it's harder to get into, but still a really good one. And then finally, a full stack developer. This is someone who understands the front end web development as well as the back end development side of things. And front end is basically what you see. So if you're on a website, the things that you actually see, or if you're using a piece of software, what you see and interact with. And then the back end is the more complicated stuff that goes on behind the scenes. And if you have front end skills plus back end skills, you're typically deemed to be more valuable to a company because there is of course a lot of interaction between the two. So here are some jobs. I'll put them up on the screen. You can check them out if you'd like. This one is harder to learn than front end development, but there's also more job stability and probably more opportunity. So this one I'll give a 9.5 out of 10 opportunity score as well. Now, by the way, if you haven't checked it out already, I did a video where I did a ton of research on the 17 work from home job companies that are almost always hiring, and you can check that out by clicking right here.